Hey everyone, we're working on a shopping project a project in the shop. We have a lot of welding machines, and I've got a skid system that works really well for them, but I have more machines and skids and more trucks than not trucks that are not set up, kind of thing. So we need to build another skid. I have I have this old tarp arm. It's like for tarping dumpsters on trucks. I got paid to build new ones, but I got to keep the offcuts and stuff. So I've been cutting out pieces to build another little skid to hold the reels and the welder and stuff. Gonna do that now and probably tack it up and see what time it is here. I gotta go meet some friends for dinner and stuff, but I think we've got a few hours to kill at least. So let's do that. So yeah, I got the parts cut just for the bottom base. I don't have a lot of time today, but I still feel like I should try and get something done on this. It's a source of joy for me if I can just get a couple hours of my own personal stuff done besides customers and family and everything else. So yeah, let's get this tacked, see how it looks, and yeah, we're gonna do some aluminum TIG welding. So yeah, I'm gonna do a little time lapse or something here. Turn the pulse off, that sounds weird. Okay, so all I'm trying to do here is get this stuff flat in one direction and know that it needs to be, I know that it's going to be square to itself all the way across the table or pretty close, because the table, I made the table's flat. And it's going to have a lot of weight pushing down on it, and it's probably not even going to be sitting on an even surface, so I'm not super concerned about that, but I know it's touching everywhere here, but the big concern is the relationship between here and here. So when I just moved that moved, but it's tacked right here. So Basically, I knew that it needed to come in. Just stick my framing square in there, get her where I'm happy with it. So if it'll stay, I'll just tack it. Could also clamp it. This stuff's pretty forgiving. So if I pull this out and push it back, pull it out and push it back, it moves a little bit, so it's probably worth throwing a clamp on. So this table's got little holes in it for this reason, so you can just squish things down wherever you want. Not a necessary thing for welding, but makes you a little bit more precise, a little more repeatable. So what I'll do is I'll probably come and fit our next piece in here. So I'll put a clamp somewhere where it's not going to be affecting my next step. I'm trying to think ahead kind of thing, right? So hold my square in here, nice and tight. Put some clampage on that. Then I know it's touching on the table everywhere, and tack it. Like I said, all we're trying to do here is figure out our overall footprint is correct, like what size I'm supposed to make it is correct, and get it tacked. We're not trying to have a big weld party right now. There's still a lot to do, and I'm going to try and get everything where I want it first. I might have to move this because it's going to hit the wall. Yeah, it is. Okay. But this stuff's all tacked now, so we don't have to worry about it moving on us. So again, just looking to get the relationship square, like just trying to get everything where it needs to be. Right now it's pretty much right there. Push it together. So I can tack that on either side pretty much right now. Not gonna affect it. And then we'll check it again with a square. Okay, still money. So we don't need to clamp it this time. And because this is my own project, I'm gonna splice stuff together because it's gonna be sitting underneath a welder. No one's ever gonna see it. So so yeah, it's my rules, thankfully, on this project. So we got 3 or 4 sides put together. Put this one off to the side. Fit these 2 together. This is a good example of when those clamps are nice. At least I can take the I don't know what you would call it, I guess, torsional twist out of the material, and all I really have to worry about, again, just like this, is making sure that the relationship of the 2 pieces are where you want it. So I'll get it eyeballed, and then I look at it with my square or a straight edge or something like that. Shadow there. As long as it's touching on both sides, I'm happy. Not building a rocket ship here. Just, you know, trying to mount a used welder or something. That isn't gonna rust. It's super heavy. Need upkeep. So. Okay. So, put our last piece in here. Let's Alright, so we're shooting for 62.5 and we got 62.5 there. 62 and between a half and 9/16, but let's not start splitting 16ths here. Then the real one that'll be the test is going to be keeping this where we want it. So this side's already tacked. That's, damn, that's looking right on. It's 24. So this side here, I'm going to keep the 24. Otherwise, everything else is perfect. So if I push on it, it goes right to 24. So tack one side and then kind of together. So I know this piece is going to want to go, right now I got a fairly even gap across here. It's fairly flat, like like reveal wise, but I know that it's going to need to go towards this way. So what I'll do is I'll tack this corner right here, right there, so that when I push on it, it will go with the tack and not against it. It won't break the tack, it'll help me keep it there, and I'll throw a clamp on it. So, yeah. Straighten it a little bit. Okay, so the problem has arrived. Our tack broke here, and that's causing a misalignment, but just push it back together. Should be okay. Okay. So little tiniest bit out. This could go down, but that's tacked, so this could go in just a C hair. And we'll see. This is 24. Yeah, no, it's 24 and 16, so it does need to go in just a little tappy tap. We're halfway between the two. I really should just grab a hammer. Mallet it is. Okay, money, and I'm happy with that. So,
Two sides welded, and then we can kind of do some figuring, see what the next pieces are.
We're gonna make some spacer blocks that are gonna go between the reel and the post that holds said reel. So, come with me. This is how the reel mounts. It's 2 1/2-inch bolts, 4 inches apart. There's a little lip here, so this is designed to hold tubing. You can tell that the last guy was using like 1.5 inches or something. I think that's probably what we're gonna use too. Our stuff is some weird size. It's this tubing here, 1.5 inches by 2.5 inches or something. So we're gonna stack it this way. That's what I've done it on my other welding skid. So yeah, we're gonna drill them out on the mill, use the mill as a drill press kind of thing. And I'll set that up and show you guys a little time lapse of doing that, I guess. The reason that we're doing this is when this is bolted to the reel rack, we don't want this touching the machine. It's pretty common to see a spacer block in there. The advantage is that you can bump the reel away from the welding machine. So the welding machine is going to go right up to the back of here. So instead of making the whole reel rack another 1.5 inches longer and taking up more bed space, you bump the reels off so that the overall footprint doesn't get bigger. The idea being with this is that you'll have more space between you and your work table or the back of your truck, or a lot of trucks have like a fold down workbench if it's a pickup truck, or my Kenworth has like a workbench on the back of it. So we're trying to push the welder away from us and keep the reels close to us so that we can still access the reels. And you can kind of push it out so that the reels hang over the back of the truck or the side of the truck or wherever, but your welding machine's not hanging out too. So yeah, usually on a welding truck you'll see the reels will be the most prominent thing. A lot of pipeline style trucks will have them hanging out so that they're like flush with the cab or even proud of the cab. The reason being is that you're trying to get access to them. Like say this is the front of your truck, you're not, you know, leaning into the truck and trying to grab the reels. The reels are in front of you, but the welding machine's back as far as you can over the axle or into the bed so that you have the most amount of usable space right there, because this is usually where you're doing things, putting stuff together, and you don't want the welding machine right here. I know it's only 2.5 inches taller or whatever, more proud, but it does all these little things. This is my 58th rendition of welding skids, so I know that I like this. So yeah, let's do the things. So what I'm doing here is putting parallel blocks in to keep the part up off the vise, because I don't want to drill into the vise when it goes all the way through, because these are through holes. So we're drilling a 5/8 hole. The bolt's 1/2 inch, so this gives us a little bit of movement for misalignment. It's definitely going to happen. And what I've done is I set it up so that I just line up the end of the chuck or vise or whatever you want to call it, tighten it down. Oh. That. Slide your parallels out of the way so you don't hit them. And then if my maths are correct, it lands right in the middle of the thing. Somebody go ahead and just loop down in the comments that I'm not using a starter hole. I did center punch them, so it shouldn't wander too much. I'm really not that worried about it. Again, we're not looking for precision. We're just trying to drill a hole here, folks. There you go. There's one of many holes to go. So we'll just keep doing this, and maybe we'll do a little thing. Speed up. All right, that's the end of part 1. Thanks for watching, guys. Part 2 is going to be all on the reels, which I'm mounting up at the end of this video as we speak. So, yeah, stay tuned for that one. And like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you've got any questions. I'm sure there's probably going to be some questions about this one. If you have subscribed, thank you very much. If you haven't, I'd appreciate it if you did. Yeah, see you on the next one.